Warm greetings from the high 10. It's Everyday Shenanigans. Well, we're back in the saddle again with more nonsense pertaining to Candace Bly, her husband, and their so-called associates. I don't know what all the hype is once again about a cell phone. And did JR get the phone? Did he give it to Sue Ellen? Did Sue Ellen give it to her daddy or mommy? I just don't really understand what the hell is going on. And I guess probably because I really don't care, because usually it's about nothing. Because in the end, all this hype, it's not even about Summer Wells. Because in the end, you don't even know what you're listening to. You don't even know if there is even a serious situation, a dire situation, or a relevant situation pertaining to cell phone. Here's a contradictory interview that Candace Bly gave a network. When the interview is over, I will give my synopsis of, once again, more BS pertaining to Hollerville. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie, 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. Guess I'll paint my toes while it plays.
All right, so for those of you watching while we're waiting for Candace, you'll sure you've noticed that the chat is turned off. That was my promise to her. I do not want her being attacked in any way, shape, or form. We got Benny's side of the story regarding the phone yesterday. Last night, we talked for 3 hours. I want to give Candace a fair opportunity to be able to explain the phone. Now, I don't know how successful that's going to be tonight, considering the obvious right now, but I'm going to do my best, because I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to do this again. I would prefer to do this under different circumstances, but
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I had to go put some clothes on and got kind of cold out here.
No problem. Awesome.
What's going on, bud?
Not much. So as promised, the chat is disabled. So, there's not going to be any attacking, nothing like that happening here. I wanted to give you a fair shake.
I appreciate that.
I'm glad, and I appreciate you agreeing to coming on and talking with me. Because I had a 3-hour conversation yesterday with Benny about this phone, and I'm a straight shooter and I'm a fair player, man. So I'm not just going to take. I've never done that with my channel. I'm not just going to take his word on something without getting your side of all this. You understand?
Yeah, of course.
So, and my only concern, and I take pride in the people that that I consider faithful listeners of mine, our only concern is that Summer is found and hopefully safe.
Mine too.
Okay. So, and until I have reason not to believe that, I believe you. Okay. I have been very, very candid about that. But this thing with the phone is the one thing, as I said last night talking to Benny, it's the one thing that's making me go, ooh, that's, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you about the phone.
Okay, so what I was going to ask you real quick before you do, start from the beginning as far as the phone goes. How?
Okay. I don't really want to say a whole lot of names, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to sit out there and say Tim Mullins.
Okay, yeah, I know about Tim Mullins.
All right, he brought me Donnie's jacket, his keys to his car, his wallet, and all that.
Okay.
Okay, so I said, where's Donnie's phone? He goes, oh, well, he must have took it into the court with him. And knowing in my mind, you can't take a phone into the courthouse.
Okay.
You can't do that. Not in Hopkins County, you can't.
I don't know if you can actually take it into the courthouse or not.
You can't. I'm telling you right now, you can't.
Okay. So, but how do you explain, because what Benny is saying, I don't know if you're aware of this, but what Benny is saying, and what Benny is also saying, besides him saying this, is that he has a recording of you saying this, that Tim Mullins handed you Don's phone from the courthouse 2 weeks later after he had the phone. 2 weeks.
2 weeks later, after Tim finally gave the phone up, after he recorded everything off of Donnie's phone onto his computer, pictures, text messages, whatever, he recorded it all on his laptop, and then he finally got me the phone.
Okay. So 2 weeks later, so the phone ended up in your possession 2 weeks later.
Yes, it did.
Okay. Now.
Okay, then I took the phone and I gave it to the uppers. And I have not touched that phone or talked on that phone since.
Okay, you gave it to the who now?
I can't personally say who I gave it to, but I gave it to the uppers.
Okay,
like,
did you give it to okay, and how was the phone given to you?
It was given to me wrapped up off in a plastic bag.
Okay. All right. Now that's consistent with what Benny's saying. Now, what I'm curious about is when you say the upper, can you I know you can't name names, but can you specify, is it a law enforcement agency?
You can pretty much say that, yeah.
All right. Is it a private investigator?
I can't say. I'm not allowed legally to say.
Okay. So, and has that phone been in your possession since then?
No, sir.
Okay. So you're saying that you gave this to a may or may not be a law enforcement agency of a sort, right? But you gave it to them and then you have not had it since.
Right.
Okay. So you don't have, it's okay. So what you're saying, okay, now are you in possession of the data that was downloaded from that phone by Tim Mullins? Has he shared that information?
No, sir. Not at all.
Okay. He has not shared that information with you.
No.
Okay. And so I guess what it boils down to then is this person who you don't want to name has the phone, and it's up to them to turn it into law enforcement. And it's definitely up to Tim Mullins. So at this point, I'd like to find out if Tim Mullins has taken that information that he downloaded and did the right thing and turned it into law enforcement.
I haven't talked to Tim Mullins over 2.5 weeks.
Okay. Now, 2.5 weeks ago, okay, or any time before that, did he indicate to you in any way, shape, or form that he turned that phone or turned that data into law enforcement?
The only thing Tim told me was that he downloaded everything off that phone onto his laptop.
Okay. But he did not say that he turned it into law enforcement.
No.
Okay. So I mean, so at this point, I mean, then it's not on you to turn the phone in. You turn it into, but now now here's my thing. If you had the phone, and I'm not trying to attack you here,
No, I'm good.
If you had the phone and you turned it in to someone, why would you turn it into someone who is not officially law enforcement, who is not TBI, FBI, or Hawkins County Sheriff?
Okay, let me say this. If TBI or FBI or law enforcement asked me for the phone, I would tell them where it is, but they have not asked me for that.
Okay. Now, there's another question about the phone. There's a phone that you said that was in your possession when you spoke to Chris McDonough, and you said that there was a phone that was still in your possession.
No, that was the phone. That was the phone the time that I talked to Chris McDonough. And then after I got done talking to Chris McDonough, that was my phone and Donnie's phone that TBI and FBI already took everything off of.
Okay. Now, I'm also getting, again, this is all hearsay, so, I'm also getting word that there's the YouTube account. There was a YouTube account. You had your YouTube account, but then there was the Don and Candus YouTube account, right? That was on Donnie's phone, right?
I'm not so sure about that because Tim's made a few different ones.
So Tim makes these accounts.
Right. I only have 2 YouTube accounts. There's one that's Candy Fly, which is on my computer, and then there's a Candy Fly one that's on my phone. I only have those 2 YouTube accounts. The rest of them I don't.
Right. Now, the thing is, the strange thing here is we're never going to know exactly what, and the truth is I don't want to know what law enforcement actually has as evidence. That's the kind of thing that messes up their investigation.
Right.
So I don't want to interfere with that because our mutual interest here is that Summer is found, or at least answers to what happened to her are discovered. Yes or no?
That's it.
Okay. So now, if based on what you're telling me right now, it's just a question of whether or not whoever you gave the phone to got it to law enforcement. Because I'm of the opinion, and a lot of other people are of the opinion, because I want to hear your opinion on this. Most people are of the opinion that, and I'm, this is my opinion as well. As soon as if my child went missing, I would be like, take everything, get everything. Because obviously, if you had nothing to do with it, or Don had nothing to do with it, right? I'm just saying, if you had nothing to do with it, Don had nothing to do with it, Grandis had nothing to do with it.
Please don't call my mom that.
I apologize. It's what they call her here, and
I know. Please don't do that.
My apologies. I didn't mean any disrespect.
Thank you.
But if none of the 3 of you had anything to do with Summer's disappearance, and all you want to do is find her. If I'm in that position, I'm going to be like, take all my tech, everything, just so you can stop looking here and move on and get to finding who took my daughter.
You know what? They can have my old phone. They can have my old computer. They can have my new phone. I don't care. They can have it all.
Okay. So
I have no problem with that.
But why? I'm curious, and I'm sure a lot of other people are curious. What would be the motive behind Tim Mullins downloading all of the information off of Don's phone? For what purpose?
That's the part I'm confused with.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we're all confused about that. And why did it take him 2 weeks to get it back to you?
Right. We all are wondering that too.
Okay. So okay. And give me a little background on Tim. All right. How do you guys know Tim? How'd you meet him?
Okay, I don't really know Tim a whole lot, but Tim showed up at like maybe the first, the second vigil of summer at Gordon Park,
Okay.
and that's when
Is he from your
Donnie-
area? Does he live in your area? Is he from
he's
your area?
from Kingsport.
Okay, so he's not far from. Okay, so he's not
So,
far from
like-
Rogersville at all.
Right. I don't personally know him, like just about what he says. But like I don't trust him, like personally.
Okay.
I mean Donnie does, but I don't.
Okay. Now you don't need. I'm not asking you to go into any specifics here if you're not comfortable, but we hear rumors about Don and things that he's been engaged in as far as illegal activity. I mean, we know that he's one to break the law because he's currently in jail. You know, that's
Donnie.
not
I'm not into
deniable.
breaking the law.
That's undeniable. He's in jail. I mean, if he broke the law, that's where he belongs right now. He's got to do his time, be a man, and do it.
I
Nobody's
mean,
disputing
he's trying to do the time.
Exactly. Right. So, but is
And
there anything?
I'm not here to throw Donnie under the bus or anything like that either.
And I'm not asking you to. But I'm going to ask you, and if you feel comfortable answering it, I'd appreciate it. But I'm not asking for specifics either. Is there anything on Don's phone that you know of that could incriminate him? Not necessarily as far as where Summer is involved. I'm saying anything.
I don't know because I don't get into his phone.
Okay, so you don't have his password to get into it, nothing like that?
No, not whatsoever.
Okay, so Don's phone is his phone, and you won't have any knowledge of what's in his phone.
That's very true. I don't know nothing about Donnie's phone. I don't mess with it. It's an iPhone, and I don't mess with iPhones because I can't understand them.
Yeah, I'm the same way with Android. I use an iPhone. I don't understand Android. No.
I got an AT&T phone, and that's all the further I go.
Right. I understand. I get all that. So Tim just showed up. At, you said, the second vigil for
I
summer?
believe it was the second or third prayer vigil that they had at Gordon Park for summer, yes.
Right. Okay. And I mean, what is his explanation to you as far as his interest in the case?
He's trying to say that he's the meteor for our family, but I don't. Why do you need a meteor for my family? Like,
Okay.
what is that?
Okay. I mean, but what he's been doing, my understanding of his role in all this is the person who set up your website for summer, has, basically done the public relations, for lack of a better term, the public relations stuff involved.
I mean, that would be Tim. That's all Tim.
Right. Okay. And you don't have any, he doesn't need your approval for anything that he puts out there or anything like that?
He didn't need my approval because Donnie gave his approval.
Okay, so that's all. All right. So Donnie, okay. So basically it was just him working with Tim, and everything involving Tim went through Don and not you, is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. Now let's talk about for a second the latest comments from Sheriff Lawson, saying that when he said they aren't being cooperative right now and they've gotten lawyers.
That blew my mind.
Okay. What do you think would be his reason for saying that? Because do you currently have a lawyer?
Okay, I probably shouldn't say this, I don't know. But I have a lawyer for my boy.
Okay. So you have a family lawyer.
But then when my attorney told me, she said, don't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
So I went through with that, and I haven't talked to nobody. It's not that I'm working against law enforcement, because they're more than willing to come up to my hill and talk to me anytime they want to.
Right.
And I said that on the news.
Well, any lawyer is going to tell you that. That's a lawyer's job, is to tell you to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe I should shut the fuck up sometimes.
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, if you want my personal opinion, because I mean, you're straight shooting with me, I'm going to straight shoot with you, right? I mean,
Right.
a lot of people, what their problem is with you is you going on every YouTube channel, Don going on every YouTube channel, you starting your own YouTube channel, not really using your YouTube platform to spread information on Summer, but to talk about things that I find completely irrelevant, such as Ernie. Who the fuck is Ernie? And why the fuck does anybody give a fuck who Ernie is regarding Summer's case? Why does anybody give a fuck about Andrew regarding Summer's case? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, to me, all of this stuff is exactly what Sheriff Lawson warned everybody about, and saying this is the stuff that messes up our investigation.
Can I say something to you?
Please.
The only reason why I started my YouTube channel was to show pictures of my kids and my family and how happy they were.
Okay.
That was the only reason for that.
Okay. No, I'm listening to you. I'm just
because I'm not into these questions and answers crap on YouTube and all that. I just wanted to show how happy our family was before Summer got gone and my kids are being taken.
Right.
That's the only reason why I started the YouTube channel. The only reason.
Okay, so you're saying that, I mean, because that was always my my impression, because like I like to look at things objectively. I'm not the type of person, I don't jump on those bandwagons of people. I thought what these idiots, the heels on the ground people were doing to you and did to you was despicable. I have spent most of my content in the last few months pointing out how shitty they are and why that's shitty. And it's basically because people have formed opinions of you and Dawn regarding Summer's disappearance based on no actual evidence or information that would lead to a logical conclusion that you or Dawn had anything to do with Summer's disappearance. And I'm going to be honest with you, I still don't know. I'm not sitting here saying that I think you're innocent because I don't know. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I think you're guilty either because I don't know.
I could sit here and go over what happened that day and all that crap with you. I could do that. Because I think that was law enforcement. It doesn't bother me. But for people that sit there and poke holes and all that, like, okay, did you take off the trash? Well, did you do this? Did you pour a jar in the mouth? Why does that even matter, man?
Well, it's not their place to even.
The point is that
it's not any of our place to do that. These are people who.
It's law enforcement's place.
I agree with you. This is something that I've consistently said on my channel. I am just, this whole thing, as far as the phone goes, it's not a question of what's on the phone. I'm not trying to find out what's on that phone.
Really?
It's not my place.
So why are we here then?
On that phone. My question
that makes no sense.
I'm trying to find out if you are actually being fully cooperative with law enforcement.
Of course I am, all the way to the T.
Okay. Because Sheriff Lawson is saying for some reason that you're not, and then I thought that might be a connection to the phone because that was the only thing that I could think of.
No, if PDI or FBI or any of them come up to my house and want to talk to me, they're more than willing to talk to me, and I will tell them.
Okay. Now, and they've searched your property, correct?
They searched my property at least 8 or 9 times that I can think of.
Now, did they serve warrants to serve your property, or did you willingly let them serve your property?
No, I willingly them. No warrant at all. I let them do it willingly.
Okay. I mean, so
and they can come back tomorrow and still search the property without a warrant. Search the property. Go ahead. There it is. There's my house. Do it.
Okay, and so what if they showed up right now and asked you for your phone that you're talking to me on right now?
Take it. If you want, take it. There it is.
Yeah, I mean, so basically what you're saying here is there's, as far as you're concerned, you have absolutely nothing to hide.
I have nothing to hide at all.
And you don't know if Don would have anything to hide on his phone.
I don't know because I don't get into his phone.
All right. Now, are you 150% convinced that Don had absolutely nothing to do with?
Man, I'm not 150% chance of anybody, anything doing with it. I don't know. I can't tell you.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
Do you have any suspicion ever?
I have a lot of suspicion.
Okay. Anything you want to elaborate on?
Let me see what I can say. I have a problem with Allie, Jose, Jody Sue, Andy, Donnie. I mean, I can list a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. Candus, if I'm being honest with you, my recommendation to you is just to stay the hell off social media at this point, if I'm being completely honest. Like,
I'm trying
because,
to, but
let's say,
pull me in and piss me off.
I get it. You want to react, and I totally understand that. That's human nature. Like, it would take some superhuman strength to dig deep for it and find the strength to resist jumping on somebody's panel or getting in somebody's chat and being like, what the hell are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. I get all that.
I have nothing but to be truthful and tell the truth because I don't know how to lie. I can't lie.
Well, this is the thing. You've got to understand something.
Lord,
this is something that I talk about all the time.
That I heard lightly.
The reason why all of this is bad is because if someone that you know, assuming that you have no knowledge of what happened this summer, of course, if someone that you know actually had something to do with summer, and then you're giving opinions on these people, and you're talking about these people, you don't know if that person is going to end up having a case built against them, and then they end up going to trial. And then what happens is their defense attorney can probably take things that you said about them on a YouTube channel or a social media platform, and they can say that you hindered the investigation, and they could use that. And then what happens? No justice for Summer. If they find out what happened to her, there's no justice for her. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt that it's just not something that you're privy to and you don't think about. You're just like, let the cops find out and do their job, and you don't realize that you going on YouTube channels can be twisted by a defense attorney and used to get somebody who may be responsible for what happened to Summer off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Like a jury already is Ryan Upchurch going and talking about this and acting like you did something and you know something and Don knows something. Like, that dude has 3 million subscribers, the majority of which are here in Tennessee. I'm an hour away from you. I'm in Knoxville. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows who that dude is.
I'm about
you know how hard it is
right now.
Right. You realize how difficult it's going to be to pick a jury if they actually make an arrest.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And nobody's talking to you about this because everybody is just trying to get the interview with Candus and blah, blah, blah. That's why I'm not monetizing this. That's why the chat is shut off. I don't give a shit about that. I want justice for Summer, period.
I want justice for my daughter.
Okay. So, Candus, do yourself a favor. Do Summer a favor. Get the fuck off social media altogether.
All right, I'm gonna do it because you told me to do it.
Do it because it's what's the best thing for your daughter in the big picture, in the grand scheme of things.
You're right. You are right.
I know I am, man. And I appreciate you acknowledging that. I appreciate you coming up here and having an open mind and talking to me and being so candid.
Yeah, I'm going to thank you for letting me have a voice tonight.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. If I didn't tell you to stay the hell off social media, I'd love to have you on here again. But now, if you feel the need for whatever reason, and we can discuss. You have my number. I texted it to you. So at any given moment you want to talk to me, we can talk in private. And if there's some weird reason necessarily that we need to go live again, you are more than welcome to come on my channel again.
Thank you.
All right. So as far as the phone goes, we got your side of the story. And so you're saying, just to summarize real quick, you're saying once the phone was given to you, this is another question that I didn't ask you. Excuse me. I'm sorry. How long did it take you to give the phone to this fourth party that you gave the phone to? Once it was
1 day.
1 day. Once it was given to you by Tim Mullins, it took you 1 day to give it up.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I honestly don't have any more questions. I'm not going to ask you about details about that day because I've heard you answer them a million times, and I'm just not going to do that. I don't see how good it's going to do. But yeah, I would highly recommend to you to just stay the hell off of YouTube channels. Ignore what people are saying because you're just got a bunch of vultures who have made up their minds based on nothing, and just ignore it. Ignore it. Let law enforcement do their job. Let them.
Exactly right.
If they told you to stop doing it, it's for the good of finding your daughter. If a lawyer told you to stop doing it, it's for the good of them finding your daughter.
Yeah, and it's 10:30 at night, and I'm gonna go call in bed and go to sleep.
Good for you. Good for you. All right. Thanks for joining me.
All right, you have a good night.
You as well. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That is the glare. I will now bring you my commentary pertaining to this nonsense. Thank you for joining me. Let's discuss the definition of glare. You open Pandora's box, and I obliged you by climbing inside. What do glare means? To shine with a harsh, uncomfortably brilliant light. B, stand out, obtrude. To stare angrily or fiercely glared at me with rage and hate. Transitive verb, to express something such as hostility. By staring angrily, glared defiance at each other. So let's go with the top definition. To shine with a harsh, uncomfortably brilliant light. Stand out, obtrude. I'm going to go with obtrude. What is the point of this interview? What was the point? Sir, you were contradictory in your commentary because you're trying to pretend or come off as if you're not like the other vultures out here that's on YouTube and random people, but yet you're talking to Candus Bly on social media. So how are you different? Oh, you're only different because you didn't come for her. You didn't say she's guilty. You didn't say she killed her kid, sold her kid, knocked her kid off, buried her kid, covered for somebody else. That part? Did I get that part right? Okay. She shouldn't be talking to other people, but yet she's talking to you. People shouldn't be asking her questions, but yet you're asking her questions. It's to get to the bottom of helping Summer find Summer. So I'm going to ask probably a very dumb question. How is this interview helping find Summer Wells? Did it help in some way? Probably not. Let me start with the phone, since that was talked about for 20 plus minutes. The notes. They're winded. 32-minute video. Who started the rumor about the phone? How does this person know who downloaded what? Why was this a topic of conversation about somebody downloading what? I thought I heard them say something in here that a Tim Mullins is the one that downloaded the information. Why would he tell you that? Let's say indeed all this is true. He kept the phone for 2 weeks, finally handed it over. Why would he download information off the phone? Is this true or a hoax to get you all talking on YouTube, to get the creators to create videos? Stay woke. Who are the uppers? In one conversation, she can't say who it is legally. But if it is Ellie wanted to ask, she says if they did ask, she would kindly give it to him. Then she says, well, I ain't touched the phone. I ain't talked on the phone. So one could think that she has the phone. But then she switches it up and says, well, somebody else got the phone when he asked her, does she have the phone? So you don't know if it's just her wording or somebody else has the phone. Does somebody else have the phone? And why are we handing the phone to somebody else when we just got it back from Tim Mullins? Haven't talked to him in 2.5 weeks. Why? Because of this phone business? Once again, who got it crunk about the phone? Why is the phone relevant? Because if you are paying attention to the storyline, they would have gathered all the devices they needed from each participant in the beginning. And naturally, I don't have to give you any damn thing because I don't have to tell you what I got unless you came with a search warrant and you found a phone, device, iPad, stay woke, laptop. But if I'm trying to hide something, I ain't gonna hand you my phone. Why is there no conversation about Candus's phone? Ting, ting, ting. Bingo card. Why is all the hype about Don's phone? Maybe I'm lost. You know, lately, it's been a maze up here at YouTube land. So I'm trying to figure out what is all the hype about a damn telephone. That's all I'm trying to figure out. What's the big deal of talking about the phone, mentioning the phone? Is there something on the phone? Why are people downloading things off the phone if it's true? See, you better ask the relevant question. Is this even a true story? Here's a story of a not so nice lady. I think you can fill in the rest of the song. I'll ask the question again because somebody back there asleep. Why not Candus's phone a topic of discussion? She was the one with the children last. Why is there all this talk about a man who's locked up? Something's off because it's always off. Because there's probably no truth to what we're listening to. Candus, have you turned on Don? Is that what this is about? This phone shuffle, phone tag business? Do you have the phone, Candus? Did you get a phone that belonged to Donald Wells? Did you go in the phone, Candus Bly Wells? Did you look into the cell phone, Candus Bly Wells? Did you turn the phone over to the uppers, Candus Bly Wells? Are we listening to another hoax pertaining to Don and Candus Wells? Such as they just hauled them off, the FBI. You all better stay woke out there. Because they all be in on it. Because I don't tend to listen to people who lie. Because if you will change your version at least 4 times pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells on June 15, 2021, why would I be listening to anybody listen to you give any commentary about a damn cell phone. And the other person that's been talking about the cell phone originally, that's definitely not somebody I'm going to listen to, truthfully. So we don't even know what we're listening to. And yet people are making videos and crying and putting in the title, give up the phone. Why? Give it up for what reason? Give it up for what reason? Because you don't even know if there's any truth to what we're talking about. If there's any relevance to a phone. Don't you think FBI could go to Don Wells and ask, sir, I need your phone? Stay woke. What's with all this shuffling around? Twister, game of Twister. Well, you can just go to the source. Hey, sir, I need your phone. Where can I find your phone, sir? And then you wait for him to reply. Instead, we've got somebody keeping the phone allegedly, keeping it for 2 weeks, downloading information. Another person saying that the person did it, and now he's saying he did it. I don't know what to believe. Do I care, really? I really don't. Because I'm not that gullible to care. Yeah. See, you all need to stay woke. Always beware of the messenger. Is it perhaps somebody's crying and moaning about a phone because they're not getting any attention? The Similac has run low in the bottle. So now we've got to suck our thumb. And the thumb don't taste too good. So we've got to come up with something else to suck on. Stay woke. Did you give the phone to your lawyer? But that's your family lawyer. That person wouldn't need the phone. Did you hand the phone to Ellie? But you won't say who it is. But then you change it up and say, well, if Ellie wanted the phone, don't you see this sounds like a word game? I can't tell you who I gave it to. I gave it to an upper. I can't tell you who I gave it to. But if Ellie wanted the phone, I'd give it to them. That's a song and dance. Kind of like the events of June 15th. Damn. Come on now. Once again, what is the relevance of this phone? What is the hype about this cell phone? Now this bullshit about who she's talking to, who she should be talking to, and it going to court and her being a hindrance. I'm jumping all over the place because I'm lost. Well, why not take that same commentary and say that to Candus? She's the one with the missing child. She's the one responsible for the child. So what difference does it make about who she's talking to, blah, blah, blah? It could come back to what? Harm her if she says anything about these people on YouTube. But yet you just asked her, does she have any suspicions about anybody related to the disappearance of her child? This makes no sense, what you're saying. How are you going to tell somebody to stay off of YouTube, but yet you're interviewing them on YouTube and you went live with it, and then you say, be careful who you're talking to because it may come back later, go to court, you be a hindrance, blah, blah, blah. This is what Ronnie Lawson said is the problem with the case, but yet you're a YouTuber talking, but hey, it ain't monetized. Who gives a fuck? You're still talking to her live. You could have talked to her in private. You're so concerned. That's what kills me about everybody that acts like they're different than the other content creator. You're steady throwing gasoline on other people, yet you're the motherfucker carrying the can. You're carrying the damn can. Oh, don't talk to these people. Oh, it can hurt you later. Oh, it could go to court. Yeah, we hope it do go to court. That's what we're hoping. But how are you different than the people you're telling her not to talk to? Because I didn't hear anything about Summer in the commentary. You're asking her questions that you're telling her not to answer from other people. You told her she don't owe anybody an explanation. Don't nobody need to know anything. You don't even want to know what the evidence is. Blah, 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 blah. Gee, hey, I've chewed my paw off. How are you different, sir? How are you different? That was a joke saying that. End up in court. Somebody could get off. Do you hear yourself? So you're basically saying somebody else did it. Oh, but I'm not saying you didn't do it and he didn't do it and you did do it. I ain't saying either way. Well, you just did. You're basically saying she ain't done nothing because you want to be objective. Well, guess what? Somebody was objective about Cow City. Well, you see how that turned out. Ting, ting, ting. Adoptive parents arrested. I rest my case. Conversation made no sense. That court comment about people talking, who she shouldn't be talking to, and it coming back, it being a hindrance. It's contradictory information, contradictory conversation. I'm just trying to figure out why this is a conversation. Didn't Ellie take all of their devices? But once again, as I said, you can't take what ain't there. So who's to say I didn't hide some stuff? Put some stuff away. And I let you in and say, sure, look around. Take whatever you like. Stay woke. You see, what's funny about this conversation is with Ernie, she ain't a liar. Ernie tells us she ain't a liar. But over here, on this side of the street, she's saying she ain't breaking the law. I'm confused. If you did what we think you did, one, you are a liar, and two, you did break the law by killing your child. And I don't know you, Candus Bly, but I don't believe a word that you've been saying. I think you're putting on for the camera because you're a very lonely person inside. You've never gotten the attention that you wanted and felt you deserved. And this is your 5 minutes of fame by playing video chat games with random strangers. And they are sick enough to play along with you. Monetize, not monetize, doesn't even damn matter at this point, does it? You're still talking to somebody that's repeating the same damn thing. Yet then, that too. I ain't going to ask you about what happened the 15th because I ain't going to do that. You've already said it 1,000 times. Okay, then what is the relevance of this phone business? Why do you care about the phone? Why does anybody care about the cell phone? What do you all think is on the phone? What do you think is on the phone that wasn't on the phone back in January? Why the fuck ain't nobody worrying about what's on Candus's phone? So this is where I'm confused. Why is it now it's all about Don? What Don been talking about? What, you ain't concerned or curious of what Candus has been talking about? What she's been doing? This conversation makes no sense. Candus asks, why do I need a meteor? That was cute. Well, Candus asked Don. He's been the orchestrator of this narrative since June 15th. So you should ask your husband why you all need a meteor. Don is the one that gave the approval for Tim to do the talking. But see, the gist of the story is that Don and Candy have stayed on social media talking to random strangers. So once again, what was the point of having Tim as a media personnel? To do what? To set up websites because what? He's good with computers. He knows how to hack a computer. He knows how to go in and get your damn personal business. I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm not a computer person myself, so I'm just asking. I don't know. I don't know. Did he download anything? I don't know. She only got a YouTube channel to share pictures of the children to show they were happy. Well, were they happy? Because you see, everything's about perception, Candus Bly. What's happy to you ain't happy to me. You know, your kids appear to be dirty, unkempt, unclean, hair disheveled. We get information from your sidekicks that you don't like to cook. You and your husband buy frozen food for the children, but then the flip of the coin could be, well, that's all they know. Possibly they were happy. Who's to say? We haven't asked them. Nobody's gotten close to ask that could repeat it. Because sometimes what appears to be not so great is happiness, comfort to someone else. I don't know. But I don't believe that's the truth about the YouTube channel. I do believe you lied right there. You are on YouTube for self-gain and self-preservation. It has nothing to do with the children and to show happy pictures, because that's your interpretation that they were happy. But possibly if we were to talk to the children aloud, they may not give us the version that you are claiming. You all are abusive drunks and addicts. Your property is unkempt inside and outside. Maybe they weren't so happy. But as I said, maybe they were. Who's to say? Poking holes at the narrative of June 15th. Yet you have her on a YouTube channel talking about a damn cell phone that maybe some of us don't really care about. Some of you may care, some of us don't. I'm just trying to see how you're different than everybody else. This is a very contradictory interview because the person is telling her not to talk to people, stay off YouTube. If she wants to call, he'll talk to her in private. But then he finishes it off with, but if you feel like you need to talk, come on up on my panel. You see, if you were really genuine, you would have never said that. Oops, I forgot, Angela, don't use adjectives. That's not good. If you really cared, say it again. I'm sorry, oops. If you really cared for Candus Bly, you're objective, you would have never put that in as a clause. But if you feel the need to talk, you want to come up on my panel, you're welcome to come. I thought you just told her to stay off YouTube. Stop talking to people. But yet she's talking to you on a YouTube channel. It makes no sense what you're saying. Contradicting yourself. Does she have clues to who may have taken her child? You asked her that. But see, what's interesting about that commentary is you don't directly just ask her out point blank. Ma'am, did you have anything to do with the disappearance of your child? I have to ask that before I go forward with this interview. Okay, thank you. She says no. Then you just say, okay. Then you go on and on about the damn phone. But basically, you talked around the subject of Candus Bly being suspect number one, when we know she was the last one to allegedly see the child besides her mother and a boy, child, 15-year-old boy. But this interview is all around about a damn phone and Pookie and Ray Ray holding it, passing it, throwing it in the water, taking it out the water, putting it in a bag. You see where I'm going with this, right? Oh, mercy. Candus names 5 people, including her own damn husband. Now, Candus, you know that's not going to go well with Don. And although you told this person that you're not there to throw Don under the bus, he let it be known, okay, I understand. But yet you mentioned him when he asked you, who would you be suspicious of? So how are you not throwing your husband under the bus? You just mentioned his name as a suspect. And the funny thing about this whole damn interview, well, it's really not funny. Excuse my language. Despicable to me, yeah, because I'm not being objective, because I don't have to be, because I'm kind of woke over here in my lane. She's the last person with the child. She's given at least 4 different versions of events on June 15th. And if a person is telling the truth will stay the same because the truth never needs any explanation. That's street code. The truth never needs an explanation. The truth never changes. The truth never deviates. Her truth is not the same truth from her interview. Her truth is not the same as her commentary to the dispatch. Her truth is not the same version given by TBI of a description of the child being outside without shoes on. So she was either inside or outside. And then along the way, we got Candus saying possibly, yeah, she went out the door. Sometimes they don't lock it. Adding shit from hearing and seeing commentary via social media. I've been woke. Obviously, this person is not. Because if you're telling the truth, your version wouldn't be different than TBI's versus the version you gave to the news versus the version you gave to the dispatch. That's not even including what the hell you told LE, which we're not privy to. She told us that they searched the house 8 or 9 times. It's a lot of time, Candus, a lot of times. And I told you all before that they'll never tell you how many times they've gone down to LE. So imagine if they've been to the property 8 or 9 times. Now try to put a number on how many times they actually went down to headquarters and sat in that little room. Stay woke. Maybe somebody's tired of going in that little room, sitting there with people glaring at them, staring at them, eyeing them up and down, looking at me like I'm guilty. Looking at me like I've done something, killed my kid, hurt my kid. Not I, says the cat. I don't lie. I tell the truth. I know you do, Candus. I know. They should put your face on a Mountain Dew bottle that says, the truth is in the dew. Shut up, Angela. That's not nice. When the lawyer said, don't talk to anybody, the family lawyer, could it be she's lying again? Why would the lawyer tell her don't talk to anybody? Well, that's normal, right? Don't talk to anybody. Don't talk about nothing. But yet you're still on YouTube talking. You have a whole YouTube channel. So when did the lawyer tell you not to talk to anybody? You would have gotten a lawyer day one, I would think, when you were trying to fight for your children. As we know, when trying to get your children back by the state, you are afforded the opportunity to get a lawyer to fight for your rights for your children. So you would have had this lawyer, June, perhaps. Same lawyer, Candus, or a different one? Or did you even have a family lawyer back then? Stay woke. See, these are the things that Candus Bly and Donald Wells wouldn't talk to you about. You know, the relevant things pertaining to getting the children back and searching for Summer Wells. You all are more concerned about this other he said, she said, who jumped out of a clown car, who has something to say about when they last lived at the house, they slept on the floor, you know, that dumb shit. Shit that ain't really relevant to me. And I'm entitled to my opinion because I'm grown. Worried about the child. Who got the child? Suspicions, but don't even say, even a mention that possibly Candus did something with her own child. Do you have suspicions of other people? Wow, that's something else right there. Candus, did your lawyer tell you not to talk to the police? Is that what this Ronnie Lawson bullshit's about? Ronnie Lawson gave a statement that you're not cooperating. Was he speaking of you or Donald Wells or both? Is this the mess we're talking about with the family lawyer? The lawyer told you not to talk. I can't see the lawyer telling you not to talk to LE. Unless the lawyer feels like you're somebody that don't need to talk. I don't know, because I don't even know what's the truth. Because you're not somebody that I think I could get the truth from. But as this person says in his commentary, you don't owe us an explanation. Well, by golly, you are so right. Because in the end, when I get up in the morning and I put my big girl panties on, I don't ask Candus for her damn permission to put on my damn drawers. So, buddy, I think you're onto something. Family lawyer tells you not to talk, but you stay on YouTube. And you've been on YouTube since Donnie Boy left. As they say, free ain't really free. It's an old black folks saying. I don't think I need to explain what it means. If you don't understand, don't worry about it. She keeps going on lives. Yeah, the lawyer says don't talk to anybody. I would think that constitutes social media. This is why we always, some of us who were woke, thought they never had an attorney, because we already knew that an attorney would advise you to keep your mouth closed. Don't talk to friends, neighbors, associates, church members, and definitely don't talk to YouTube, TikTok, YouTubers. Don't jump in the chat and talk. Don't jump on the panel and talk. 50,000 things you can do with your time. You don't work, you don't have a job, you don't go to school. You want to sit on YouTube. Why? What are you gaining? Absolutely nothing. Is it true Candus Bly is not cooperating? Is it true Donna Wells is not cooperating? The phone. What is the importance of the phone? What is the truth about the phone? Is it relevant to anything? Do I really care if there's something on it or not? Would I be more concerned with what was on the original phone before the 15th? Stay woke. What fool is going to be talking about anything suspicious in nature after the fact on their phone, knowing that they're going to be watched by LE and TBI? If they've been in your house 8 or 9 times, you would be a fool to be talking on your damn cell phone, iPad, TikTok, any other app, knowing they could be watching. Stay woke, listening, surveying you. Only a fool would be talking after June 15th on any device. But then again, these are 2 dodo birds that stay on YouTube, so maybe they're not that bright. Why did Tim keep the phone? What did he download? Are we for sure he downloaded anything, or are we just listening to gossip? What did he do with the information? Is he going to do something with the information? Did he give it to LE? Did he keep it for himself? Is this to use, keep it, to have it, to hide it from Candus? Is it to blackmail Donna Wells and Candus Bly? Or is it to give it to LE for a reward in case there is something incriminating on the cell phone? Who did Candus Bly give the said phone to? Or does she really not have it? Or does she have it? Stay woke. As she said, if Ellie wanted the phone, she'd give it to him. But there's still contradictory to some degree in that conversation about the cell phone. I ain't got the phone. I gave the phone to somebody. I ain't talked on the phone. Almost kind of like a slip of the tongue. I ain't got it, but I ain't talked on it, which means I got it, which means I'm lying about giving it to somebody else. It's all about your interpretation. And who is to somebody else if indeed you gave the phone to somebody? Why are we talking about a fucking phone shuffle? Why is this important? Is this a narrative or a hoax to get you all to talk? Is this somebody just throwing shade against Candus Bly and Donna Wells because Candus has found a new little friend to talk and fraternize with on social media? Her so-called friend out west isn't her priority number one. Now, although she said she would never turn on him, she don't want nobody talking bad about him, but maybe he feels jilted by Candus Bly since Donna Wells is gone, and he feels somewhat betrayed because Candus is playing with other kids on the playground. My. Seems more like sinking sand than a playground. Or is this just, as I said, internet BS to keep folks talking and others to make videos? What is the truth? Candus got offended when he called, when that boy said something about her mama. he called her Grandis. She said she didn't like that. He apologized. Basically said, well, you know, that's what they call her here. Here in YouTube, like it's somebody's house. Hey, that's what they call her here. Here is imaginary. Here is outer space. Here where? Here, YouTube. Because out there in the street, nobody gives a fuck about what the hell's going on in Rogersville. Let's keep it real. It's nothing personal against Summer Wells, but there's just people who just don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about YouTube. They don't give a damn about nobody making videos about these people. They don't give a damn about the chat. They don't give a damn about none of it. Ask me how I know. I live here, and I talk to many people, white and black. They don't even know who the hell Summer Wells is. They don't know Candus Bly. They don't know Donna Wells. They don't know Jose. They don't know Big Bubba, Little Bubba, Jody Sue, Mary Sue. Are you following me? They don't care. They're not interested. Who's Ernie? What are you worried about Ernie? Why do y'all care about Ernie? Why do we care about you in this interview? How about that? Because what's the big deal? See, I'm one of those people, I don't jump on the bandwagon because it's the latest, but I decided to make this video because, hey, I was still up, not ready for bed. But in the end, when I go to sleep tonight, I won't be worrying about an imaginary phone, nor Candus Bly smiling for the camera, or any other crazy nut that wants to interview her. Sorry, not sorry. I doubt that Allie, Andrew, Jody Sue, Jose abducted Summer Wells. Candus mentioned those people because she has a problem with all those people, because all those people have spoken against Candus Bly. So Candus Bly basically told you she's feeling some type of way about people talking about her. You all have been very, very nasty. You've been talking about Candus. She's trying to find herself, find her voice, as some of you creators have been saying. I want to give you a voice, Candus. Well, by George, she's found it. And I kind of wish she unfound it. The world would be a little bit quieter. We could get on to talking about important things. Because at the moment, Summer Wells is still missing. And there have been no arrests pertaining to her disappearance. To sit up and criticize other people when you're doing exactly the same thing. You're talking to Candus Bly. You would be number one on the Talk to Candus Bly phone line. Anybody got a number? I do not. You know the old saying about pointing your finger at people? You got 4 pointing back at yourself. You asking who's earning? Well, who are you? Who are you to be talking to Candus Bly? Who are you to be worrying about a phone? Who are you to waste 20 minutes of an interview to say, I'm just concerned if you are cooperating with the police, but that's not the first question you ask. So you're contradicting yourself. If you're really concerned about her being cooperative with the law, that would have been your first question to Candus Bly in this 32-minute interview. Candus Bly, hi, how are you? I'd just like to know, are you fully cooperating with law enforcement? Why would Ronnie Lawson put out a APB that you are not? That would have been your first question. You went into a live 20 fucking minutes and never said a word about her cooperation. That should have been question number one. Alongside, hello, how are you doing, Candus? Are you cooperating with law enforcement? Because my goal today is to find your daughter, or help in aiding find your daughter, which in a way, that's still contradictory, because in what way could he help find Summer Wells? What can you do to help find Summer Wells? You're talking to a numb fuck, an empty vessel You will never get the truth out of somebody who has given 4 different versions to law enforcement and the public. So how could somebody tell you something about anything? A phone, a dildo, a garbage can? Where are you from? How are you different than any other YouTuber? Because you still finished your commentary with, if you feel the need that you want to talk, you can come on up on my panel. Which, as I said, should have never said anything. Should have just kept it as, if you like to talk to me, call me anytime. I'll gladly listen to you. I will not record you, and I will not bring you up on a live panel. In the discussion. Sounds like to me you are a Candus supporter. Sorry, not sorry. You use Summer Wells' name as a method to talk to Candus Bly Wells. Nothing more, nothing less. I've been in the game 40 years, 30 years. I'm good at reading people, and I'm good at knowing a bullshitter. And everybody that comes and claims that they are trying to help find Summer, they're trying to get to the bottom of, you're not getting to the bottom of nothing because you're talking to somebody that got the girl gone. So why would a suspect help you aid in finding something that they had no intention of keeping and got lost on purpose? Not making any sense. I think I've basically touched on everything I wanted to touch on. What's next? Because you see, as I said, if a person will lie about June 15th, they'll lie about anything. Tim's response to Evil Exists was grainy when he asked him text messages about the phone. So why not just tell the truth, Tim Mullins, about what you did with the phone, why you kept it, and did you indeed download information? Did you copy the phone, Tim Mullins? How do you copy a phone? I'm curious. Who are these people we're talking about? Help me understand. Don orchestrated all this mess. And that's how he got in cahoots with Tim Mullins. But Tim's job should have been speaking on behalf of the family, not Don and Candus speaking and running their mouth to social media. That's what a social media correspondent's job is, to speak on behalf of the family. So they don't have to speak and they don't have to trip up and tell on themselves. So once again, what is your role? And now weeks have gone by. You and Candus are on the outs. What happened? 2.5 weeks, she said she hadn't talked to you. Did you all fall out? As I said, this is a contradictory interview. You didn't really ask Candus anything that to me was important. But she tells you she's not sure of who's all involved. Very interesting. I can't lie. But yet you've given 4 different versions. June 15th. Is this a hoax to set up Donald Wells by his so-called friends and wife and media manager? Is this a setup to take down Donald Wells? Because as I said, he was the ringleader from day one, Mr. Wells, narrating this story. But since he's been incarcerated, Candus has come out because she laid in the cut until he went to jail. Is she cooperating with Ellie? Is Donald cooperating? How does Don feel about all this attention Candus is getting and not him? Will she retreat to her old Candus when Donald Wells gets out of jail? Will she want him when he gets out? And will she stay off of YouTube? What is the point of this interview and what was gained? Because in the end, there has been nobody that has come out pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells that I deem truthful and factual, except possibly Boy H. Some things Allie has said I do believe are truthful. But in the end, it stirred up a lot of controversy when these people came out, which got people to talking and gossiping and speculating. And had Donald Wells and Candace Bly kept one storyline straight, perhaps people wouldn't be gossiping, talking, speculating, or making YouTube videos. You see, when you start talking and saying things out of turn that don't make sense, sound suspicious, people will talk. That's just what people do. Perhaps if there was no social media, there wouldn't be much hype. It would have been just the one interview that he and Candus gave to the news, and that'd been the end of the story. No release of a 911 dispatch, no nothing, just people waiting to hear, where is Summer Wells? This story could have been died down. Just us sitting by waiting. Hey, do they have a suspect yet? No, not yet. Hey, they searched back there in Beach Creek. Oh, they did. Did they find anything? No, they didn't find anything. That would be the gist of the story. Thank you for joining me. That's my commentary pertaining to Candus Bly versus the phone tag, phone booth, game of Twister, and the therapist. If I didn't know any better, I thought I was listening to some ratchet version of Dear Abby. That's the Queen's commentary. Thank you for joining me. See, you all been down there chatting. 303 in the room. God is good. Thank you for favoring me today. I appreciate it. No such thing as a muzzle deer. She'd find her way, bite her way right through that. You can forget that. You can forget all about that. $2.93. Thank you. If you have something you have to say, you have an opinion pertaining to this information that has been relayed to the public, YouTube rather, join the panel and give your opinion. Please be respectful to the hostess and to the chat. Thank you. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during this live. Thank you so much for joining me. Do not mention any creators in my chat. Do not mention any creators on the panel. I will no longer listen to anyone say anything negative about anybody. I'll be the only one that will have something negative to say about another creator. I'll take the heat on my own, but I will not allow anyone on the panel to mention anybody's name. If you have something you want to say about what you heard on another network, just say, I heard this on a network. Do not mention a YouTuber's name. Thank you. Thank you all. 301. Hello, Cookful. Thank you for joining me, sweetheart. It's a little late. You're an hour behind me. It's almost 11:30 here in the high 10. Thank you, VC. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you all so much for following the content. If you're looking for older true crime stories, please check out my Crime Vault series. Uploaded content earlier today pertaining to Lance Herndon. He was an African-American male deriving out of Atlanta, Georgia. Very wealthy man at the time, so they thought. And he was bludgeoned to death in his bed. And one of his mistresses was the culprit. I bring you the said commentary pertaining to that horrific crime. She is now free out of jail. And I was wondering, where is she? Dion Barr, where are you? Come holler at the queen. I'd like to know what you've been doing with yourself. Share with us. Let us know what you've been doing the past 11 years with your freedom. Must be nice to do less than 20 years for killing a man to death in his bed. I'd like to know. How do you walk around with yourself knowing you killed a man in cold blood? That's why you laid low, because you knew nobody would want to be around you and talk to you, because you did confess to murdering Mr. Herndon after your second trial. Thank you all so much. If you have something you'd like to add to this commentary, hit the link and give me your opinion. Give the chat, give the world your opinion pertaining to this nasty phone business. Is it even true that there's even an issue with a phone? Hell, why don't somebody call Donald Wells and see what he has to say about the missing phone? I say he has more important things to be concerned with. One hour, 23 minutes in. Thank you. I see there's absolutely no end in sight pertaining to Candus blind Donald Wells. I was kind of hoping that some of this mess would die down once he was incarcerated, but Candus picked up where Donald left off. It's very sad, pathetic to me that you people still have an interest in what the hell she's doing, he's doing, talking about. Why? I still don't understand what all the hype is about the damn cell phone. That's just me. I don't get it. What is it that you all are looking for? What is it you think is on the phone? Why don't I ask that? What do you think is on the phone? A newer phone that only a fool would be talking anything subversive on related to June 15th. I'm confused. Well, depends on if you like the meat, Cindy. Depends on if you like the meat or not. It's so sad you can't tell a hoax from the truth. It's ridiculous. Well, some people may believe it's something to it. You know, these people like to argue stuff anyway. That's something I've learned about being up here. Everything's an argument. The most simple and mundane of information is an argument. Did it ever occur to you all this is something just to try to remain relevant in an arena that has no value and no meaning? Because if you're not genuine with the content, then what you're saying doesn't mean anything. So if a person keeps up a lot of trouble and stir up a lot of drama, how could anything they say be of relevance? And yet people take it and spread it around, questioning any little thing that comes out of their mouth to make it into a big organza. You know, oh, let's throw a party. That's, you know, it's like I said, Oscar night over nothing. But you don't even know it's the truth. Damn near not to fall down a flight of stairs over a damn telephone. So I've never seen anything like it. People weird. Strange people out here. Very strange. Well, that's my commentary pertaining to the Hocus Pocus phone game. If you have something you'd like to say pertinent of relevance to this phone booth game, feel free to hit the link. If not, I will be checking out of here. Well, it's quiet. 266 in a row. All these people talking about the cell phone business. Nobody has anything they like to say about the cell phone. Well, that's my commentary. I'm not putting any stock into anything because it doesn't mean anything. It only means something to you if you're invested in storytelling. And I'm not that gullible. Because I don't put stock into conversations of people who have not been truthful at the beginning of the story. So why would I put stock into anything pertaining to a phone? You didn't even know anything about a phone, if it was even relevant to anything, until somebody decided they wanted to spin it out and make it seem like it's some I Spy game, you know, Matlock type BS. Other than that, it doesn't mean anything. Right. No information or anything's been discussed about the phone. So you're just talking around in circles about something that's probably not even relevant. And I always say, beware of the messenger. Where did the information come from originally? That's what you should be more concerned with. The person that spun the yarn pertaining to the phone. Just out of the blue, somebody's concerned with Donald Wells' phone. Stay woke. Why would you be concerned about Donald Wells' phone? That should have been the headline of somebody's video. Why are you concerned about another grown man's phone? Why are you worrying about who had the phone, kept the phone? Why are you, a man, concerned about another man's alleged cell phone? That should be the question. I don't get it. What's the big deal? The only thing that could sound truthful is that Candus said the man had the phone. He kept it for a few weeks, then he gave it to her. And I do believe she said he admitted that he downloaded stuff, which I don't understand anybody admitting to that. That makes no sense to me. Why would you admit to downloading something off somebody's phone? That's idiotic. That's somebody's private phone. Why would you copy anything off their phone? I'm trying to understand how you could copy something off somebody's phone. I've never heard of such. Does he work for the FBI? Maybe he's undercover. I don't know. Maybe he's a secret agent. I don't know. Did the FBI send in an informant as Tim Mullins? Hell, why not? So our media mogul is Secret Service. Is that where we're taking this story next? We about to do a little Sammy the Bull, John Gotti type hype. Where is this going? You know. Is this a New York story? Help me understand. I don't know. That should be the question some of you should be asking. Is there a mole in the group? Ting. You're asking all these other damn questions. You don't ask relevant questions. Well, why are you worrying about something being on the phone? It doesn't matter. What does it matter what's on the phone? Really? It's his phone. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What's relevant? Is it relevant to Summer Wells' disappearance? That's what I want to know. Because in the end, as I said, you have to take into account the messenger of the message. It's really not even about the phone at this point because you don't have any verification of nothing. So what you should be curious is, why is this person concerned about Donald Wells and a cell phone? Is this just a hoax for people to get to talking? You have no idea what you're listening to. These people have been playing mind games. I guess you all forgot about the call to Mary back in the summer. That was a hoax. And you're sitting here worrying the fuck out about a phone. Damn, come on. I mean, I'm utterly confused. Well, that's my commentary. Thank you for joining me. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. This commentary was about absolutely nothing. A waste of paper and ink. And my saliva. Because I've learned nothing about what I just repeated. Which should tell you something. Some people get off on playing mind games so long as they have an audience. And that's all that's been going on since this case started pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells. Just a bunch of people talking and chattering. And they're not talking about anything and they're not saying anything. And they're looking for gullible people to pass the information along. And that's what I just did. Recycled garbage. You all have a blessed weekend. This is Everyday Shenanigans.